everyone, this is Siona back again with an video of inorganic chemistry and which is really important, that is the modern periodic table. So first of all, let us go back and revise about exactly what it is. So before anything else, Mendeleev came up with a periodic table, but as we all know that Mendeleev had some drawbacks in his periodic table. Like for example, he had made this periodic table on the basis of atomic mass of an element, and the elements having similar properties were placed into one group. But what happened is at some places there were some exceptions in this periodic table which he could not certainly explain, and all these drawbacks in the Mendeleev's periodic table were noticed by Henry Moseley. And for covering up those drawbacks, he came up with a modern periodic table, or say a new periodic table. Then why is it called as a modern periodic table? It is called as a modern periodic table because this is the latest version of the periodic table that we have been studying. So now let us look what is this periodic table and what is this periodic table, why is it necessary, क्यों पढ़ते क्यों है हम लोग ये. So basically periodic table मतलब कि जो सारे elements known है उनको हमने एक particular format में organize किया है. What is that format? On what basis are they put or are they fixed into this periodic table that we are going to study? So basically Henry Moseley put forth this modern periodic table, and he discovered that the number of protons in an atom is equal to the atomic number of that particular element. Now, as Mendeleev had made this periodic table on the basis of atomic mass of an element, unlike that, Henry Moseley came up with the periodic table which was arranged on the basis of atomic number of those elements. Now, this is a rough structure of the modern periodic table. So, in this entire periodic table, there are 118 elements involved in this entire structure. So, this is just a rough structure of the modern periodic table. Now, in this modern periodic table, these vertical columns are called as groups. These vertical columns are called as groups. And these horizontal, I have not made it here, but they have these horizontal lines here which are called as periods. Now, in this entire periodic table, there are 118 elements involved, 18 groups and 7 periods. That means 18 groups यानी 18 vertical columns और 7 periods बने हैं in this modern periodic table. Now, on what basis ये जो elements हैं इनको क्या format में ये periodic table में बिठाया है? So basically on the basis of atomic number, वो तो पढ़ लिया, on the basis of the increasing order of the atomic number वो elements ये periodic table में बिठाए हैं. Secondly, उनको group में क्या on what basis some particular elements are put in one group? So basically the elements which have the same number of electrons in the outermost shell, those elements are put in one group. यानी atom है, atom में क्या क्या होता है, बीच में nucleus होता है, nucleus में you have your protons and neutrons, and around that you have electrons revolving around the nucleus. So basically जो outermost shell है यानी आखिरी orbit है, so एक group है, अगर for example this is my first group, first सारे elements जो है first group के सबके outermost shell में same number of electrons होंगे. On that basis he divided those in these particular groups. Now this entire periodic table is classified into 4 blocks. That is, this one is the S block, this is the P block, D block, and down we have the F block. Now, why is this F block placed below the periodic table that we are going to study? But we will study it blockwise. Now, the very first block in the modern periodic table is the S block. Okay. Now, this alkane group. So basically in the S block you have two groups involved. Now this first group is called as the alkali metals. Okay, this first group is called as the alkali metals. Now alkali metals जो है यानी फर्स्ट ग्रुप है उसमें 6 elements are involved. These are the 6 elements which are involved in the first group. Let us see which are those elements. So they are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Now these 6 elements are involved. अभी तो हम लोग को पूरा periodic table याद रखना है, right? But फिर ये याद कैसे रहेगा? You should have some trick to remember this. कि अगर if I ask you, okay, which are the elements in group 14? So you should easily able to tell me कि ma'am these are the elements which are present in this particular group. So for that I'll just tell you a short form for these elements for you to remember. Okay. So the first one is, this is the group 1 elements. So for that, for you to remember, you can remember it as Lena K, RBCs Farah. So Lena is a girl, RBCs, you know, it is present in your blood. So it's just a content of your blood. So RBCs Farah means Gayab. So this is how you're going to remember it. Li means lithium, Na means sodium, K means potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Lena K, RBCs Farah. That's how you're going to remember the elements in the first group. Now let us see some characteristics of these elements which are involved in the first group. So first of all, their electronic configuration is NS1. Electronic configuration is NS1. यानी अभी S block elements किसको बोलेंगे? So basically जब last electron जो है वो S orbital में enter करता है तो उसको बोलते हैं S block element. So उसका electronic configuration is NS1. Now these elements, that is your group 1 elements, are not found in their free state or native state. This wrong means they are not found in the free state or native state. ठीक है. Next point is, इनको alkali metals क्यों बोलते हैं? ऐसा नाम क्यों दिया है? So first of all, पहले तो अपन उनको alkali metals और alkaline earth metals बोलते हैं. इसका मतलब यही है कि both are metals. But इसको alkali metals क्यों बोलते हैं? So basically they are called as alkali metals because उनके जो oxides and hydroxides है, they form strong alkalis. ठीक है? उनके जो oxides and hydroxides है, they form strong alkalis. जैसे NaOH, KOH, they can form strong hydroxides or oxides like NaOH and KOH, that is sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. That is why they are called as alkali metals. Moving forward, atomic radius. अभी इनका जो atomic radius है, atomic radius यानी क्या? यानी the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit of an atom. ठीक है? For example, this is my nucleus. Nucleus यानी उसमें है protons and neutron. So ये nucleus से तो आखिरी orbit तक का जो distance है उसको बोलते हैं atomic radius. Now atomic radius as you go down the group यानी first element जो है वो है lithium. Why hydrogen is an exception? I'm going to tell you that. But first we'll look for the group 1 elements. So as you go down the group यानी lithium से francium तक जब आप जाते हो तो atomic size जो है वो increase होता जाता है. क्यों increase होता जाता है? क्योंकि outermost shell जो है वो add up होते जाता है and because of that the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit goes on increasing and that's the reason atomic radius goes on increasing. Density को क्या होता है? So density decreases as you go down the group. यानी लिथियम से फ्रांसियम तक आप जाओगे so उसका जो density है वो कम होता जाएगा. ठीक है? फिर melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point को क्या होगा? So basically melting point and boiling point will also decrease as you go down the group. फिर क्यों decrease होगा? So basically now if you have a metal, ठीक है? मुझे ये metal को melt करना है. So अगर वो metal के molecules का bond strong है So I will require more force to break that bond. But अगर वही bond weak है तो I'll require less energy to break that bond, right? So similarly, as you go down the group, मेटल्स, ये जो एलिमेंट्स है, मेटल्स है, इनका जो बॉन्ड है वो वीक होता जाता है. एंड सिंस दैट बॉन्ड इज गेटिंग वीकर एज यू मूव डाउन द ग्रुप, इट बिकम्स ईजियर फॉर यू टू ब्रेक दैट बॉन्ड. और ब्रेक बॉन्ड करने के लिए हमको हीट या टेम्परेचर देना पड़ता है. सो सेम वे एज यू गो डाउन, टेम्परेचर क्यों कम देना पड़ेगा, बॉइलिंग मेल्टिंग पॉइंट डिक्रीज क्यों हो रहा है, क्योंकि मॉलिक्यूल्स में का जो बॉन्ड है दैट्स गोइंग ऑन वीकर एंड वीकर एज यू गो डाउन. So this is all about the melting point. Quick revision: atomic radius increases, melting and boiling point decreases, density also decreases. सिर्फ क्या बढ़ता जाता है, तो atomic radius increases as you go down the group. Talking about group 2, that is alkaline earth metals. Now which are the elements in group 2? So they are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. अभी इसको कैसे याद रखेंगे? सो बेटा मांगे कार स्कूटर बाप रोए. ओके, बेटा मांगे कार स्कूटर बाप रोए, यानी बेरिलियम, मैग्नीशियम, कैल्शियम, स्ट्रोंटियम, बेरियम एंड रेडियम. सो दीज आर द एलिमेंट्स इन्वॉल्व्ड इन ग्रुप 2. नाउ लेट्स सी सम कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स इन्वॉल्व्ड इन ग्रुप 2. सो द फर्स्ट वन इज NH2. व्हाट इज NH2? Its electronic configuration is NH2. Now ये जो elements है अल्कलाइन अर्थ मेटल के, उनमें एक कैपेसिटी होती है कि उनके पास जो दो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, वो दो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स they can lose easily. So they have this capacity to lose two electrons. Okay. Moving forward, density का क्या होता है? So density as you go down the group, यानी बेरिलियम से रेडियम तक आप जाते हो तो डेंसिटी जो है वो कम होता जाता है. सेम वी हैव सीन इन ग्रुप 1 एलिमेंट्स ऑल्सो. एज यू गो डाउन द ग्रुप द डेंसिटी गोज ऑन डिक्रीजिंग. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, अगेन अ क्वेश्चन. जैसे इसको अपन अल्कली मेटल्स बोलते हैं, इनको अल्कलाइन अर्थ मेटल्स क्यों बोलते हैं? व्हाई आर दे कॉल्ड एज अल्कलाइन अर्थ मेटल्स? इसीलिए बिकॉज ये जो एलिमेंट्स है, all these elements involved in group 2, जब ये water के साथ react करेंगे, when they react with water, that is H2O, they are going to form alkaline solutions. ठीक है, they can form alkaline solutions. That is why these are called as alkaline earth metals. Moving forward, melting point का क्या होता है? As you go down the group, इधर भी melting point कम हो रहा था, इधर भी melting point कम हो रहा है. क्यों कम हो रहा है? Why is the melting point decreasing as you go down the group? So the reason being again the same, that metals के जो molecules हैं, उनका जो bond है, that bond is getting weaker and weaker as you go down the group. So that's the reason the melting point of these elements goes on decreasing as you go down the group. So yeah, that's all about the S block elements. Now for P block elements, D block elements and F block elements, swipe up to the next video. You're getting the P block elements soon and you can refer to the videos and study. Yeah, so that's all. And again, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and give a like. So yeah, thank you, take care and stay safe.